sweet. Hi. How's it going? So yeah, my name's Ben, and a lot of people think it's short for Benjamin. And no, actually, it's short for Benton. I know, interesting, isn't it? Thank you, I chose it myself. And a lot of people wonder, well, why'd you pick Benton and not a normal name? It's very simple, really. You can shorten it to Benton, women know not to bother. You know, I always think, like, you know, I feel like I'm preaching to the converted here, but I feel like it's really difficult to come out to audiences, especially on stage, because being who I am and who maybe a lot of us are in society is often looked down on. Christians don't really like us, there's a lot of negativity, and just being left-handed is really... hard. And like, you know, someone recently told me that that made me a devil's minion, and that I was going to go to hell for it. Like, being a homosexual and transgender man isn't enough to get me there. So it's nice to be back in Manchester. I recently went down to London and I started my trip back to Manchester with a bang. We met on Grindr. Everyone knows what Grindr is, right? Yeah, a lot of you? But in case you don't, right, Grindr is basically a hunting ground for uncivilised, horny gay men. So uncivilised that they've had to separate us into tribes, okay? You got jocks, otters, twinks, and I know you're all wondering, I'm a bear. Raw. Now, I downloaded Grindr as a new way to deal with stress because student loan doesn't cover any real coping mechanisms. You know, like therapy or ketamine. And you get a lot of strange interactions on Grindr, like old men who would like pop up to me and be like, hey, I'm hung. And it's like, yeah, and old enough to be my dad? Not my type, yeah. Or other people who would say, well, why are you on Grindr? Oh, you know, to discuss sunflower growth, gardening, the changing seasons, maybe the same desperate reason you are, you daft twat. And trust me, a lot of them do need a conversation about gardening, okay? I've seen things. Traumatising. And I really do like to think of Grindr a little bit like Pokemon Go. But instead of going to new and exciting places and catching rare Pokemon, I go to new and exciting places and catch STIs. You're disappointed. My old manager's in the room. Must be thinking, the fuck was I working with? A filthy whore, that's what. So I had some really interesting interactions on Grindr. So someone popped up to me with a picture of his, you know, penis and said, I could do with a hand. I just thought, perfect. You have to. I had someone else pop up to me and I was so ready to go and hook up with him. Like, I was so ready to go and, you know, get busy. Until his roommate came back. Yeah, and he asked if we could go to the bike shed underneath his apartment block. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not what I had in mind when he said we could go for a ride. And I really think being a trans person on Grindr is actually really fun because I like to give people a nice 2-for-1 experience. You know, men in the streets and what the fuck is that in the sheets? And I know people do ask, like, you know, people do ask me a lot, mainly cis people, like, what do you have down there? What is it? And I'm just gonna share it with you now because I'm gonna be that person. So it's basically this abyss of nothingness where like all light just gets sucked in and nothing. It's like a cave where like nothing ever leaves, or as I call it, my vagina. But not like Grindr's not that bad. I met my boyfriend on Grindr, and we've nearly been together a year. I know, it's been sweet. But a lot of great things come with having a boyfriend. One of them being me. You know, but the other thing is like, you know, so like I get to speak to so many people about it, mainly because they see the hickeys on my neck, and they say to me, "Oh my God, are you dating a vampire?" It's like, no. Rest assured, I was the one doing the sucking. And the other thing, I finally get to do like the gay shit that I could never do before I came out. So he calls me his little koala as one of the things we do. It's because I wrap my arms and legs around him and everything. And then I piss on him and give him chlamydia. Yeah. And you know, when I met him on Grindr, he was like one of the only people who didn't ask me for a dick pic. And like, you know, so many people ask for dick pics. And when they said to me, why can't you send one? Like, why won't you send me a dick pic? I'd say, you see, I would send you a dick pic. I just don't have the balls to do it. Worth the transition just for that joke. So yeah, so like, as well as just being like a massive homosexual, I worked at Ann Summers for a bit. Yeah, it was buzzing. Now, actually, you think working at Ann Summers was really fun, right? You know, a lot of people do think that, but selling dildos to bored housewives and lube to the dry and menopausal is not as fun as it seems. Firstly, I can't read Beatrix Potter anymore, okay? I know where that rabbit's been. And then the other thing is, you get like asked questions in retail that would otherwise be really normal, but when it's in Ann Summers and it's in that context, oh my god, is it fucking strange? So like, people would come up to me and be like, is it try before you buy? I'd be like, oh, what a joke, Steph, is it try before you buy? Have you heard this? No. No, why would it be try before you step away from the butt plug? Or other people who would ask, have you used many of these toys before? And I'd be like, oh, have I used many of these toys? Have you heard this guy? Have I used many of these toys? Yes. What do you think staff discounts for? I'm not working, I'm compiling a shopping list. Or like, you know, I usually would get like straight cis men who would come in with their female partners, and I'd show them this like really new and exciting vibrator, and the men would go, is that going to replace me? And you have to say, of course not. There's nothing like the real thing. What you'd really want to say is, hopefully. If she had any mind about her, she'd realise this doesn't have a gob on it that thinks it's funny. And men don't vibrate, so like another question I used to get asked, which used to be really annoying, is like, I'd introduce myself to customers and be like, hi, how's it going? And they'd go, are you gay? Are you gay? Is that why you get to work in this section? Are you gay? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think taking up the arse makes me any more qualified to sell sex toys than the next person. Do we like anal jokes? Do we like anal jokes? Tight. So yeah, like I just don't feel like I've made it obvious enough, but I am transgender. I just don't feel like everyone knows. But you know, I love puberty so much I've decided to go through it twice. This is currently 2 years in the making, so like as you can tell, it's going really, really shit. And like, you know, before I came out as trans, you know, I was a lesbian and I came out to my family as bisexual. So if you really think about it, I've completed LGBT. Someone has to. And you know, people ask me, they say like, oh Ben, you know, you came out as a lesbian, you came out as bisexual. Well, how did you come out to your parents as trans? I'd say, well, I walked up to them and said this. I said, Mum, Dad, I have to get something off my chest. It's her tits, I'm a boy. And then, you know, like, I'm sure... worth the £8 just for that. And you know, I recently had top surgery as well, and like I'm about 2 months post-op now, And, you know, before I had top surgery, I used to wear binders. I'm sure a lot of you know what binders are in here. In case you don't, it's like a compression vest that you'd wear, which would like flatten your chest. And, you know, you can get binders in lots of different colours now. It's so amazing. So, you can get them in white, you can get them in black, add them into clothing, you can get them nude. I got green. Because do you know what's really going to help my crippling dysphoria and self-confidence? Having the torso of Shrek! So, I mean, you've been really nice, and I'm gonna leave you on like a nice little question. So yeah, so I'm on testosterone, right? And I recently... God, 2 years ago we could have swapped. No, but like, so this is what I found out. So I'm on testosterone, and I recently found out that my testosterone levels were high, which I think would be great because, like, I obviously exude masculinity. Like, watch this, ready? Roll. But actually, what happens is when your testosterone levels get really high, it converts back into estrogen. Are you happy now? So what happens is it converts back into estrogen. So now my estrogen levels are high. So does that make me twice the man I am now, or double the woman I was before? And you're all lovely. I usually say if someone thinks 1 minute's a hate crime, but you just all seem really nice. Like, I know I'm fine. So you've been really cool. This is like the first sort of gig I've done which has been sort of like LGBT centric, so it's nice doing a gig to an audience who get it and aren't going to ask me, aren't going to tell me I'm convincing. Like, it costs a lot of money to look like this, I know. Right, I've been Ben Hodge, you've been amazing, thank you very much.